Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and as you can see on the screen there was a little hiccup, just a little hiccup when it comes to the Lewis S-Class release. Some of the early pulls, and it was the very early pulls in this world, and I actually was thinking, should I do my 10 pull first or my first look video? And I was just like, But fortunately this is going to be fixed, because this would be a massive advantage for pretty much no input. Like, I was going to do a 10 pull regardless, and coming out of it with 1 million cards or 72,000 cards and all these other screenshots that I've seen would have been absolutely ridiculous. And we do see the response on the forums from Scopely, very quick response, which is great. It says, "Hello survivors, today, Thursday, January the 30th, there was an issue with the launch of the new S-Class character Lewis. Players were acquiring Lewis cards from S-Class recruits at a dramatically inflated rate." Yeah, you can kind of say that again. "While there were no S-Class Lewis collections in the museum, we have corrected the incorrect card quantities in the Lewis S-Class recruits event and plan to do the following. Players who acquired Lewis cards from the incorrect S-Class recruits event will have those card quantities reduced by a factor of 1,000 to their intended values. For example, 72,000 cards will be corrected to 72 cards. And to be honest, this is kind of what I saw the issue being. I saw 1 million, I thought the top was 1,000, and it just looked like everything was times 1,000 from what I could see. So this does make a lot of sense to me. However, there is a follow-up to this, and as it says, number 2, it says, "As an apology for the confusion caused, all players will be sent a 5-star ascendable Lewis and 500 Lewis cards." And this is massive for the majority of players out there. For Wales, who would spend anyway, this isn't going to make too much of a difference. They'd spend on this character anyway. That's the way it'll go. But for the majority of people who might only do the 10 pull, might have saved some coins to do pulls for a Telltale character, there are a lot of Telltale fans like this. This is going to be great. Some players legitimately have started the game just to try and get their hands on Telltale characters, and they're going to be able to get their hands on a Telltale character. They're going to be really happy with this. Obviously, they don't really, I'm going to do air quotes here, deserve this, but they're just doing a global compensation, which is the first time they've ever really done this, especially on this level. This is a massive amount of compensation, and I think this is like, I've talked about this in other games where something minor can happen and the compensation is massive. This is it. This is pretty minor. Anyone who pulled on this world knows that those weren't the amount of cards they were going to be getting. Anyone trying to argue that they should be getting 1 million cards, just no, come on. Like, you know that you shouldn't have been getting 1 million cards. You know you shouldn't have been getting 72,000 cards. To get an S-Class character is 10,000, right? You know that it shouldn't be the way. I know you're going to be a bit, maybe some people will be, personally I wouldn't be that mad. I would know that I'm probably going to have it taken away, because 1 million cards is just ridiculous. We all know this. But anyway, they're going to do a massive comp here, which is great. And then it says the museum collections will appear after all card quantities are corrected. Expect to see the collections and the ascendable Lewis and cards gift soon. It does say at the end, as mentioned above, no Lewis museum collections were available at the time Lewis's release, and as such, any players who have acquired Lewis thus far did so directly from acquiring him from the S-Class recruits. So like pulling him as an S-Class, pulling him as a 6-star, pulling him as a 5-star. This aspect of the event was not affected by the error. It says, "Thank you for your patience." So it looks like really good compensation. Something that I think a lot of people have been calling for in terms of just quick global comp, just fix the issue. And I've seen this in other games. Marvel Strike Force actually is pretty funny, because Scopely just bought Marvel Strike Force, and Marvel Strike Force seemed to have pretty decent comp. Like, the game could be down for an hour, I didn't even realize, or it affected me and I just came back an hour later, and then they just did quite a big global comp in terms of like maybe $20, $30 of stuff. This is more than $20, $30 of stuff in terms of Scopely value, so that's actually a pretty good compensation globally, and I don't think anyone can really complain about that. I mean, I'm sure there will be. I mean, I wouldn't look at the forums for that, because people in the forums will complain literally about anything, but your average player can't really complain too much about this. This is obviously an issue, obviously was dealt with very quickly, and massive compensation for it. And I think if anyone really argues that, then I don't know, they're going to argue about anything pretty much. So that is the end of my video, guys. Do tell me what you think about this compensation. I guess it's a gate, but it was just so quickly fixed. I'm not even going to call this a gate. This was literally just a bug fix, really quick fix, which is great. And like I said, I think a lot of people are going to be appreciative of that level of compensation as well. That is the end of my video though, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.